Let's now consider waiting times and interest rates for annuities. So again, if you remember, if we have three variables, we can solve for the fourth variable. So this is more of a reminder that we can solve for the number of periods or the waiting time, or we can solve for the interest rates, or otherwise known as R. So for instance, if we want to know how many deposits it would take to reach a certain retirement goal or investment goal, we would solve for the number of rates. If we wanted to figure out the rate of return required to reach a retirement goal, given fixed monthly deposits, we would solve for R. Let's take a look at two examples, first starting with solving for the waiting time or number of annuities. So in this case, we have Martha who wants to save up to $100,000 as soon as possible so she can use it for a down payment on her dream house. She figures that she can easily set aside $8,000 per year and earn 8% annually on her deposits. How many years will Martha have to wait before she can buy that dream house? So in other words, how many periods will it take for her to get a future value of $100,000? So we see in our spreadsheets, we're going to be using an MPR function. We have our payments of $8,000. Our goal is $100,000 at an 8% rate. When we plug that into our formula, we'll get about 9 periods or 9 years. So that's helpful to understand figuring out the amount of periods it takes to get to a certain goal based on our annuity payments. Let's take a look at another example. This time we're going to be solving for the rate of return, and we're also applying time value money to solving a lottery problem. Now, when you win the lottery, you don't really think you have a problem, but you do have to make a decision. Now, the question is, how are you going to receive your payment? You can receive your payment through an annual lottery payment for a fixed number of years. So, for instance, let's say you get $100,000 for the next 20 years. Or option 2 is you can get one lump sum payment, and that payment would be provided to you presently. So that's a present value payment right away. So the question is, which is a better option? Well, first, let's take a look at this example here. Now, you won the lottery and you have your two choices. First is you can take that lump sum of $26 million, or you can receive a 30-year annuity. So every year you're going to get a value of $1.625 million. So if both payments are assumed to be after tax, what will you do? Okay. Now, in this case, there isn't a rate because we have to figure that out. We basically need to figure out at what investment rate will the annuity stream of that $1.625 million be the same as a lump sum payment of the $26 million. So we need to, in a way, we're trying to figure out the interest rate of the present value of the $26 million in terms of this annuity, okay? So in this case, I use a calculator, but of course we can also solve it in our spreadsheets if we use the rate function. But nonetheless, we can solve it either formula. And what we figured out is it looks like our rate of interest is about 4.65, okay? So the rate of interest used to determine that 30-year lump sum. Okay, so in this case, if we had a rate of this 4.65, it wouldn't make a difference whether or not we accepted the annual payments over 30 years or we got the lump sum. It would be the same, okay? So in terms of your choice, if your investment rate is 6.5% or higher, okay, then you would go with the lump sum because either basically it would be the same, but you would be getting $26 million right away, which of course is better than getting it in 30-year installments. Now, if the percentage is lower, then it's better to take the annuity option because that means that the present value of the annuity would actually increase. So that would be higher. Finally, I'm going to leave you with some top 10 TVM points, okay? Helpful for you when you're doing your calculations and thinking about the theory. So that's been a bit of a summary, some valuable tips at the end for you. Thanks for watching and happy financing.